Kanu, please, did you pay for your heart surgery? Please tell Nigerians, when you were about to move from Ajax Amsterdam to Inter Milan and it was discovered that you had a heart defect.
Somebody who knows what it is to play football at the highest level, to have injuries, to come back from injuries, where your club is supposed to take care of you. Now you are in that position to do the same to others, and you cannot do the right thing. It doesn't make any sense.
Big clubs don't do weight cap. Look at Arsenal. They're talking about weight cap, but they paid Bukayo Saka £300,000 per week.
That is the weapon fashioned against Arsenal.
They celebrated the fanfare, everything. You allowed them go home with the cup itself, and now you want to tell them to bring it back. It's difficult.
The reason why Arsenal has fallen short in the Carabal Cup is Mikel Arteta.
They've turned Chelsea to a business, a business venture, which is good. But you have to have ambition on the direction of the club. You can't sack a Maresca and you bring a Liam that have not done anything tangible in court.
And we knew that at some point the downfall of Chelsea is coming, but their fans were happy because they were pumping in money, they were buying the youngest guys, the prospects, all of them. We've seen this before. Abramovich did this.
Welcome to the Home Talk Podcast, brought to you by Bet Niger, your home of bet. Boom! If it is big talk, if it is banter, if it is the beautiful round leather game of football, now we day. I don't go waste plenty time. I go straight into introducing the usual suspects. Ladies and gentlemen, by my immediate right is a woman who knows ball, talks ball, and when she breaks it down, you'll be super excited, ladies and gentlemen. Toyo, baby! A round of applause.
Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome.
Abeloa is winning.
Ladies and gentlemen, this man, now person when carry Nigerian football, grassroots football for his head, and in the hawkam like person where they sell plantain chips for inside traffic. The one and the only, our very own Ojodu Fabrizio Romano. Pooja! Welcome back.
Welcome to Boom.
Now, different stadium, now we they see you now. Welcome back.
I did for home
Yes,
top.
you did for home top. Yes, and we'll boom today. This next man mesmerizes on the microphone. I call him the Ronaldinho when it comes to punditry in Sabia. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the one and the only man who played grassroots football but never made it out. In his mind, he's a professional. Ladies and gentlemen, the one and the only Sawadinho! Yes! And make I give you a better update. He get the update that they call Bet Freeze. Now Bet Niger carry this new feature come. It is really very, very easy to use, and importantly, it will help you. Now, how does Bet Freeze work? You can lock a particular game. When you accumulate, you gather your games, for accumulator. You can lock a particular game if you hear anything that puts you in distress. Like, for example, now, Arsenal, they play Manchester City. You can't hear say, oh, mo, ebere chase, they no go there, the game. Oh. You just go lock them, sharp, use Bet Freeze. So that irrespective of the outcome of that particular match, so they no go come out your money. You don't dare there. The odd fee drop, but you collect your money, and that is why Bet Niger is the only betting platform that you should even bank on, do business with. We'll go this break, come back, we'll enter the discussion. We'll go anywhere. We'll be back. Bet boom. Welcome back to the Home Talk Podcast. The best place to begin is from where it ended. For Arsenal in the Carabao Cup.
Okay.
2-0 winners, Manchester City.
Yeah.
A loss for Arsenal.
Yeah.
Sawa, your reaction first.
At the beginning of the season, I said something, and I've been very consistent.
That Arsenal will win the quadruple.
That Arsenal will win the quadruple, and that the only person that would stop Arsenal from achieving that goal or achieving any set goal this season is Mikel Arteta. The moment Arsenal completed the signings, I said Arsenal has a good enough squad to win everything And the only person that would stop that is Mikel Arteta. And he is living up to the expectation.
But he took you people to the final. Now.
See, the squad went to the final. That squad is good. See, if Harry Redknapp handled the squad, they will get to the final.
This same squad?
Yes, this same squad. If Harry Redknapp handles it, it will get to the final. Even if Frank Lampard handles this squad, they will get to the final. This squad is good. Any decent manager that handles this squad, they will get to the... If Pep Guardiola handled this squad, it's a clean sweep. It's a clean sweep of everything on earth. So Arteta is the only reason. Let's concentrate on the game. Games like that are defined by tiny margins, right? You make one mistake, you fail to take your chance, you fail to score, and then the game turns in his head. You play the opponent in. Once momentum swings, then you have yourself to blame. Arteta set up that game. First off, I didn't want to be drawn into the debate of whether Kepa should have started or Raya should have started, because I knew Arteta was going to start Kepa. You understand? Why I went into that debate was because of the statement he made after the game when Kepa cost us the game, that it would have been unfair not to start Kepa in that game. It is very hypocritical of him. The same man that benched Nogard, who has been starting all of those games, he benched him in the semi-final. It was not unfair to bench Nogard. The same man who knows that Noni Madueke, Miles Lewis Kelly, Gabriel Jesus, these are the games where they get to play since they don't have enough playing time in Premier League games. You bench all of them. You play Saka all through. And you're talking about fairness. In that game, talking about margins, the moment Havertz missed that penalty, that chance in the first half, it gave Man City a little bit of an edge, but they did not do anything in the whole of the first half. The most defining moment of that first half was the yellow card to Pierre Hincapié. Pierre Hincapié is a hard-tackling defender. Pierre Hincapié does not mind who the opponent is. He will come at you. But the moment he got that yellow card, which was as a result of him going in hard, even though he didn't make much of a contact on, what's his name, Nunez, you understand? And he got a yellow card. The moment he got that yellow card, he was being very careful not to get a second yellow that would have led to a red and then put the team at risk. And because of that, he wasn't going in. And Semenyo, knowing that this guy is not coming in hard again, decided to be going there. Every attack was coming through that wing because they wanted to commit the guy to get a red card. The guy survived and played till the end of the first half. Any reasonable manager in the world, any reasonable manager will sub Pierre Hincapié at halftime, not because he is not good, but because it is obvious. It was very obvious. Now the same game we watch now, it was obvious. Even while we were watching in the first half, we were saying, Omomini remove this guy, even at first half, because it was obvious that they wanted to commit him to get a red. You understand? And he survived it at halftime. Every reasonable manager would sub him off. Not only did Arteta refuse to sub him up at halftime, Arteta left him till 60-something minutes after 2 goals have been scored. And if you look at the bench, there was Ricardo Calafiori, the man that had just produced the famous Scorpion block against Everton. That's the man that was on the bench. An Italian, a rugged man that can shut that place permanently from halftime. Arteta did not play him. I'm not saying Miles Lewis Kelly. I'm saying Ricardo Calafiori, who arguably, some people will argue right now that he is far better than Pierre Hincapié. And Pierre Hincapié with yellow cards came back for the second half and played 20 more minutes with Calafiori on the bench. Bukayo Saka, since he signed his new contract, has been one of the worst players at Arsenal in terms of productivity. Bukayo Saka, you can count the number of take-ons he has completed since he signed his new contract till today. Madueke has had more take-ons than Bukayo Saka. Successful take-ons. Yet, Bukayo Saka will play every minute of the Champions League, play every minute of the game against Everton, and still play every minute of a Carabao Cup final. And the same manager will come out and talk about fairness. And Bukayo Saka is playing every minute of every game. And you're talking about fairness when there is a Noni Madueke, when there is a Max Dorman that literally saved us against Everton. So what are you talking? So the reason why Arsenal has fallen short in the Carabao Cup is Mikel Arteta. The reason why they may fall short in the FA Cup will be Mikel Arteta.
May fall short.
The reason why they may fall short in the Champions League is Mikel Arteta. The reason why they may even fall short of the Premier League that is right now supposed to be chilling in Arsenal's cabinet will be Mikel Arteta.
All right.
Arteta is the weapon fashioned against Arsenal.
All right. Sorry about that.
No, don't
accept
apologize to me.
No, I'm just.
I've been
we have to
consistent
apologize.
with this
You're right.
all year long.
And it has come to pass.
Yes,
Yes,
it has
that's
come to pass.
That's come. We're sorry about that. Sorry. But, accept our condolence.
No problem. Nobody die.
No problem. So I would like to ask about the landmark ruling that created an earthquake in Africa's football space. Just last week, the decision by CAF to strip Senegal of the AFCON 2025 title and hand it to Morocco. Some people have said it is justice. Others have said it appears like it is revenge. And some people are saying it is just following the rules. To your baby.
Well, it's a mixture of both. Following the rules, the AFCON statute is there, where the Article 82, 83, and of course 84, combining both the 82 and 83 together. Some would also argue that the referee's decision is the final say on the pitch or an official game, and it's there in the IFAB rule too as well, 5.2, that any officiating referee on that day gives his final verdict that say, well, I'm blowing this whistle, the game is done, this and that, everything. But I had a different opinion from someone, which kind of made sense to an extent. This whole thing happened, and the reason why it's difficult to even place your finger on this is because even Senegal themselves are not giving us room to be able to defend them. They did something very embarrassing on that day. It didn't make sense at all that you would leave the pitch just because a decision didn't go your way. We've seen so many games where decisions don't go some people's way, and they've not had to be so emotional about it that they have to walk off. It's an official game. It's a final, So, but then again, that happened, and they had to come back. It took like 17 minutes, almost 20 minutes for game to go on. Now, you look at situations like this, you ask yourself, why was that decision not taken immediately on that day? That the referee, knowing fully well that you have the power to end this, they've erred, they've left the pitch. So your punishment is you forfeited this particular game. You're no longer interested in playing this game. So I'm going to blow the whistle and say, full time, Morocco is in charge of this one. Morocco has taken this one. But you waited. Yes, it's his own discretion, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Or maybe he doesn't even know the rules.
Maybe, but you are the officiating referee. You have the everything, the rules, everything, that the guidelines as an officiating referee. To the fact that you can even officiate a final, it means you're probably high ranked.
Yes.
To an extent, right? And besides all of that, you did not do that. You didn't end the game. You allowed the game go on. I don't know what conversation they had that, there's still debates that whether Brahim Diaz intentionally missed the penalty or whether it was a penalty and it failed, right? Moving on from that, yes, we know that with CAF, there are two bodies, different bodies, the appeal committee and the ones that, of course, appeal the disciplinary committee. Yeah. And I think some weeks after the AFCON, we saw the punishments being doled out. The £100,000, $100,000, $50,000, the fine, left and right. They could have just said, we're fining Senegal. We're going to fine you this also amount, and we're going to also punish you for subsequent AFCON tournaments. Probably you will miss 2 tournaments or you miss 3. It may sound harsh, but that is the punishment for your misbehavior. But after 2 months, you're not coming with this decision that, after the whole appeal. We know that appeals don't come to a decision immediately. Even with this CAS, if with this appeal with Senegal going to CAS, it will take at least maybe 6 or 8 months before they will come to a final decision. And this is going to continue to linger on CAF's head or CAF's neck. So all of these things just make it so messy. As far as I'm concerned, Senegal erred, but the fact that you've allowed them, they celebrated the fanfare, everything. You've allowed them go home with the cup itself, and now you want to tell them to bring it back. It's difficult.
This is actually a second decision. It's not the first decision. The first instance awarded the game to Senegal, which was where that fine came from.
Yeah.
So it was after the first instance that the appeal was made. And now
the
after
Morocco appeal
the
was
Morocco
made, yeah.
appeal. So Morocco was not satisfied with the decision of the disciplinary committee. That's why they appealed to the appeals board. Now the appeals board have decided in favor of Morocco.
Of
now Senegal will appeal to CAS. So
CAS,
that's the way it works. So the judgment where those fines came in was prompt. It was very prompt. It was like a few weeks or
it was just
1 or 2 weeks.
2 weeks after the AFCON,
So it was very prompt. Let me just tell you why the referee did what he did. 1, he was overwhelmed by the occasion. 2, he knew very well. His conscience was beating him up. The reason why he allowed that game to continue, he knew very well that he has been terrible all night. What we should be looking at is opening an investigation to the referee, both the VAR and the center referee, because this is my opinion. Those referees have been involved in shady deals behind the scene. So his emotion. That is my opinion personally.
Even your opinion,
yes, allegedly. Yes. I think they have been involved in shady deals behind the scene. That is the reason why he couldn't stop that game, because there is no reason why that game should have continued for that long period of time. And then you also ask, maybe he doesn't even know the rules. I would also agree to that point, because the officiating we are seeing is nothing short of incompetence. The one we saw in the semi-final from the Ghanaian referee and this one. So these are the factors that made him not to end that game. He was overwhelmed. Remember, the authorities were there. CAF president, FIFA president, everybody else, they were there. And we were seeing people whispering to people. We don't know if people whispered some things to him and all of that, and told him that even if he knew the rules and maybe he wanted to call, maybe it was now out of his power to now make that decision. Maybe they have told him, don't end it, don't worry, don't end it. We're talking to them, they'll come back. Maybe I'm saying maybe they would have told him, and that is why he didn't end it. Secondly, his conscience would have been pricking him that, man, this thing is happening because of me. If that goal was a legitimate goal, why did we cancel it? You understand? Because you know when you're doing bad. You know when you're doing evil. Even if you try to hide it, you know. Then the third one was overwhelmed by the whole occasion. Now, Senegal have protested the way they did, which was very shameful. Everybody that is telling me about the finality of a referee's decision, please calm down. It is the same referee's decision that was decided in the game between Senegal and South Africa in the 2018 World Cup qualification that was played in Polokwane, South Africa. South Africa won that game 2-1. They needed to win that game. They won that game 2-1. A Ghanaian referee by the name Joseph Lamte was in charge of that match, and an investigation was opened. He manufactured a penalty. The ball hit the knee of Kalidou Koulibaly in that match. Then he was playing in Napoli, and the referee gave a penalty for ball striking the knee, and Senegal protested after the match. It took 1 year for FIFA and CAS to find out that referee was involved in illegal activities aimed at influencing the outcome of the game. Why didn't FIFA uphold the result on that occasion? Shebi, they said the result is final. FIFA did not uphold the result. FIFA ordered a replay of that game. So why, for those of them that are shouting, don't be one-sided when you analyze the law. Look at it from the broader perspective. Why didn't FIFA uphold? It was still in FIFA's rule as at then that the decision of the referee is final. So why didn't they say, okay, see, as far as that result is concerned, it is final. That game, and the game ended normally 2-1, as South Africa won. But they ordered a replay of that match. So it actually brings to question the absolute finality of the referee's decision. You understand? So all these things are subject to various interpretations.
Right.
A lot of people, let me tell you, and I will say this here, a lot of people that are actually shouting down on CAF are anti-CAF president. They are expressing their anger towards CAF president because of some of the fallouts they've had with CAF president. Not because they really want to interpret this. If you interpret it plain without bias, you will know that Senegal actually brought the game into disrepute and a slap on African continent by walking out on the final. It was the biggest game in African football as far as we're concerned. They brought the game to disrepute. So what I would say, like I've always been saying, let us wait for the Court of Arbitration for Sports to interpret it. But all of you that are shouting that football is won on the field, football is not won on the field alone.
All right, no problem. We would wait for the Court of Arbitration for Sports. Pooja, welcome back from the various stadiums that you have visited. But one stadium where joy no day, na Stamford Bridge. They have lost 4 consecutive games, conceded 12 goals, scoring 2. And the coach is always writing list of soup items and giving it to his players to go and share with the other players in the pitch. What exactly is wrong with Chelsea? Is it the coach, the owners of the club, the players, the fans? What exactly is the color of Chelsea's problem?
Well, for Chelsea, I think the owners are being carried away, and I think the reality check for them will be when they miss out of the Champions League, when there's no flow of money anymore. They've turned Chelsea to a business, a business venture, which is good. But you have to have ambition on the direction of the club. Yeah. You can't sack a Maresca and you bring a Liam that have not done anything tangible in court. Yeah. Because if you look at the history of Chelsea, you cannot bring that kind of manager to break what is going on in the Premier League. The Premier League is very huge now. And you now sack Maresca for being too ambitious. Because he was demanding, he was asking for the medical team to be upgraded. So many back and forth. So they're bringing someone that will do their bit, and of course they will make more money. But if they fail to qualify for the Champions League, I think it will be a reality check. Yeah. Because the money will not come in. They will now find a manager, a proper manager, that will not take them back to the Champions League. Because if you look at, during the Lampard, they didn't know Lampard was not really a failure, but not below par, because they qualified them during the transfer ban to the Champions League. So they made money. So they felt like, okay, fine, money is coming in. But when he failed to qualify for the Champions League, they rethink and they feel like, okay, fine, we have to bring him the likes of Pochettino, the likes of Tuchel, and you can't be coming from the caliber of managers like that, and all of a sudden you sack Maresca, you sack a Pochettino, you sack a Tuchel, and you're bringing this kind of manager in.
Motivational speaker.
They call it also, the tech bro.
Yeah.
Why are you wearing glasses when?
They said that guy go write part 2 of Things Fall Apart. And by the time when Chelsea finish with them.
And for Chelsea, like I said, it's not brutal anymore. You can't lose like that against 8-2 against PSG. And you wake up the next morning with a job with Chelsea.
Yes, now.
And still lose against Everton.
And still lose against...
Like it's normal.
Even leave
3-0 against Everton,
Baba, leave Everton. You cannot lose like that, in France. Come to Stamford Bridge, lose 3-0 you cannot wake up. See, now inside boss, they go sack you. Managers have not even done half of what he has done. Now they've been sacked. Yes, but because, like I said, it's a business venture now. They are making a lot of money. They are signing a lot of players. That's why they are doing, wage cap. Big clubs don't do wage cap. Look at Arsenal. They're talking about wage cap. They paid Bukayo Saka £300,000 per week. You know how much Havertz is taking home? You know how much Calafiori is taking home? So Chelsea will come with a wage cap because they want to do a business venture. If you want to compete for the biggest trophies, there's no wage cap. The biggest player will come with the big box. So now that they are doing, they are failing. If they fail to qualify for the Champions League, they have a memory set.
While Pooja is spot on, I also feel like we should be lenient with Rosenior or Rosemary, because honestly, it's not his fault.
Lenient.
So,
that's why they go sack him now. Lenient to sack him now.
It's not his fault. You brought someone from Strasbourg who are 12th on the table as at that time.
Because they're having unbeaten runs.
In football, there's nothing like your fault. Once the results don't go your way, nobody cares about how you feel or what the condition is.
And the business is it's a
4 consecutive losses.
Yes, it's a brutal business. The manager is always at fault. You can't sack your players. The manager will be one that will leave. Yes, but this is the fault of the owners. See, in fact, when the moment Todd Boehly came into management or into taking over Chelsea, we all saw this coming. I think the meme at that time was Cowboys FC, and we knew that at some point the downfall of Chelsea is coming. But their fans were happy because they were pumping in money. They were buying the youngest guys, the prospects, all of them. We've seen this before. Abramovich did this and spread them across Europe, on loan and all of that. But you want Liam Rosenior, who was assistant manager to Wayne Rooney, to come coach Chelsea, and yet what are you expecting him to do? To finish second or to win the Champions League, bump your way to the Champions League, like the way the likes of Di Matteo and Co did? It's not possible. Chelsea, they're a motivational club. They run on motivation and fairy tales. They want things to just happen. Oh, sack this person and let him come. Todd Boehly said something, I think some weeks back. He said when they came into power, or when they took over Chelsea, that they didn't know what to do at first, because this is football, like this is soccer, right? It's different from American football or American business, and that he was wondering signing players. He says, you know what, this is what I would just do. Anybody the big clubs are after, that's who would.
And that was how he signed Cucurella.
And that was how he was signing most of these players.
He said if Man City is going for Cucurella, then he must be good.
So imagine somebody like that running your club, Abba, and you are surprised with all these things that are happening. Come on.
Uh,
It's
and lastly too, you know that they got to Chelsea with like a buffet.
true.
You know, there was no liability. There was
Yes, now
nothing.
it was
Yeah.
giveaway now.
So like giveaway. So they just gave. So they, because if you're actually balancing the books, I don't think you would see what is going on now at the top level clubs. Look at what happened at Real Madrid.
Yes, now.
Papa, you see your Man United now, they are feeding it because the money is going down.
Yeah.
And the managers that will take you to that level, the players that will take you to that level, they are not cheap in the market.
Yeah.
So if you want to be doing weight cap, okay, let's try this. You are looking like a Fabregas again. Fabregas cannot take you to the dreamland. He will come to test
Of
run.
course.
Go and take the likes of Enrique.
Enrique,
Was in
yes,
London.
now.
He was about to, but the ambition was too much. When they give you, a budget of like 200 million. Look at Arteta. He has spent £1 billion. That is the top money you have to spend to be at the top level.
All right.
Unfortunately,
Nothing to show for it.
Arsenal has not been to
Club
that
that
top level.
struggled to have sponsorship for how many seasons?
Chai.
And now they have fine now. They fine and ban again. They're in trouble.
All right, interesting. I would want everyone to share their thoughts on this.
Okay.
And I will begin with Pooja and Sawadinho. Because now they've been tell us for February, say a big verdict is coming that will shake the whole world. A lot of us were excited. We were waiting for this verdict.
Yeah.
The verdict come be like say no even come. But waiting we come dey hear. Those of us when our hopes were raised, crushed. FIFA no even give the kind of attention wey we think say they go give to that Nigeria petition. If I may start with Pooja, because na Pooja first tweet say there's a news that is coming, a breaking news that will shake Nigeria.
I remember.
Pooja, what's going on? What happened?
FIFA in quotes, they are run by humans with emotions, and unfortunately, the World Cup playoffs is very close. That the processes, like lawyers we say, the processes, the adjournment will not be too soon.
Paperwork.
For judgment to come down, to actually be delivered. There was a very good case because even before Nigeria, there was a Cameroon who knew what happened. And, the processes of what happened with DR Congo and their players is very, very simple because we've seen cases that even their politicians have been disqualified for the same thing they did, the same reason they did. And because if you are actually want to denounce a nationality, you want to announce a nationality.
There's a process.
You have to denounce the nationality you're coming from. If you are an Englishman and you want to be a DR Congo person, you have to say, okay, fine, I'm not. You have to
a
denounce.
citizen of England.
But the likes of Wan-Bissaka cannot do it. But because it's a case of high level, there'll be a waiver. There'll be a policy waiver from DR Congo, and that's what they used. There was a legit case on ground, and for the NFF as well. I think before the Cameroon game, they should have actually started the paperwork because the paperwork came late. But there's no. It's not out of place for a paperwork to come late. But the processes to deliver a judgment is too close. There's no, because if it's not a judgment that is very key, DRK will not be rattled. They were rattled. They had to do so many things politically back home, so that when the paperwork starts, they will say, okay, there's a waiver for this level. But what NFF and Cameroon were actually saying or submitted was actually what has been done in their country before. But unfortunately, it's too close, and they are going for the World Cup.
Sawa, as the learned one, the legal luminary.
Barrister.
Yes, please talk to us. Some people have said they did not even look at the merit of the matter. Based on technicality, we have lost out. I would want you to speak to, our process of administration and how we go about doing things, and then maybe explain the legal aspect so that people watching would understand that not be say one thing happen, it can't be like say they don't like somebody, they can't take action.
All right. Legal matters are determined on several, conditions or premises. You understand? There are so many ways to decide legal matters. You can falter on technicalities, and you can also fail on the merit of the case. There's a famous statement that we should not always sacrifice justice on the altar of technicalities, because sometimes when you look at technicalities so much and then you
ignore the merit of the case,
you ignore the justice that it will serve. I mean, it will rub off negatively on the people, because justice should not only be done, it should be seen as done. Do you understand? Now, technicalities simply mean if I offend you or I steal something from you, there is probably a provision that say for this kind of offenses, you should make sure you bring the case to the court within this time frame. If this thing happened in January, this is illustration now. Yeah. If this thing happened in January, make sure that you report it to the court between January and October, for instance. If you do not report it between January and October, you have waived your right to seek redress for that. You understand? So if you report it by November, without maybe the process of seeking for extension of time, you have waived your right. And the law of license and acquiescence will now set in that you've already waived your right to that redress. Do you understand? So that is the technicality that is in play right here. FIFA, according to the reports that we saw, said that such matters short petitions should be submitted, I think 24 hours or 48 hours after the game, 24 that time, and it took the NFF a matter of weeks to submit that thing. So they have waived their right to seek that redress. And we're even hearing that the compulsory accompanying 1,000 Swiss francs that should be paid to follow was not even paid. You understand? Now the question is, did NFF actually do their housekeeping right? Just like Pooja rightly said, Cameroon raised it first. If the NFF was going to be very serious, if they had done proper housekeeping, that time we Cameroon raised, and before we play with Congo, if we don't they arrange the paper, first of all, you know why they did not do it? Everybody was confident that we're going to beat Congo and we will not need it. You understand? That is the thinking. Yeah. So everybody was confident we're going to beat Congo, especially the fact that in that extra time we dismantled Gabon. Yeah. You understand? So they were confident, so they did not do it. So when the shocker now happened that Congo had beaten us, probably that is when they started doing it. And such legal documents, you don't just rush and prepare them overnight. There is no way you will meet that 24 or 48 hours deadline, because you have to make sure that everything is done properly. You've crossed your T's, you've dotted your I's properly, so that you're presenting a very good case. And that is why I'm very happy that FIFA is not speaking to the merit of the case. It's only knocking it out on technical grounds. So for those people that have all been crying that there is no case there, it is so. You know what? I don't like arguing these matters with people that don't know it.
The law is okay.
You know, so. It is. There was a very clean case. The problem I have with people is that there are documents to read. You will not read it, and you just run to the street and you're shouting. It is a very clean case. The waiver Pooja is talking about is called monoration in Congo. Even with the monoration, Congo DRO people protested when they were about to appoint a prime minister of dual nationality in 2015, and they called that monoration, which is supposed to serve as a waiver, rubbish.
All right.
They called it a rubbish document.
All right.
So meaning there is no waiver, no waiver on ground in Congo that permits you to hold the nationality of Congo and that of another nation. The only thing that will happen right now, bet me, from now in the nearest years, is that you see that Congo will amend their citizenship laws.
All right, interesting. Congratulations to Congo. Hopefully they can scale the final hurdle and represent Africa well. Next time, we too, from the beginning, we will do what we're supposed to do.
Win match.
Win match, not be to the go court. So let's talk about something that went viral on Nigeria social media space last week. You know, the issue involving Eze Ekutoziam, a player for Enyimba International. Now, the allegation is that this player got injured, you know, and then the administrators of the club he plays for wanted to enter into an arrangement with him where he would be loaned money for the treatment of his ACL injury. And then they would begin to make deductions.
Mention the club now.
Enyimba now. I don't mention it. Okay, I mentioned Enyimba.
You didn't mention. You said that
Enyimba. Yes, Enyimba. You know, and now this has put setting people in the spotlight. The injured player, Eze Ekutoziam, and then the man at the wheel at Enyimba, ex-international, legend, Papilo, Kanu, Nwankwo. When I heard this, my first reaction, even though I didn't tell the person, was that it's not possible, it's a lie. Until they presented video evidence of the player making these claims. And you would recall that sometime last year, we also had the situation where an ex-Enyimba player had complained about the condition of the players. We have spoken extensively about why we need ex-internationals to come back and using their wealth of experience help us build grassroots football in our league. But it can't be like say the experience not be better experience and we know they see anything. Your thoughts? Let me begin first with Toyo, baby.
It's sad hearing that. Like you said, I didn't believe it until I saw video evidence too. I had to just type Google. I just googled Enyimba ACL player injury and I just saw the video and I was like, really? I don't think it's difficult for Kanu Nwankwo, who knows, or somebody who has been in this position before, not necessarily ACL, but the heart surgery, being a player, you've played at the highest level. You've incurred injuries, serious, almost career, wrecking injuries, and you've had to come back, right? And you know what it means for a player to get injured, have ACL injury, to come back. It's beyond the surgery, going to the hospital, surgery. What about the recuperation, the mental recuperation, or the fear that I don't want to get injured again or have that kind of ACL? We're seeing professional players like in Europe, the likes of Rodri and co, have ACLs and they are not the same anymore. And this is someone you're telling them, and it's not cheap, the surgery. Well, at least we're in Nigeria here, we're talking about in Naira. It's not cheap. How much are these guys being paid? These guys barely feed themselves or even feed their families well, first and foremost. Not now talk of being able to take care of themselves when they get injured. What is the system like for clubs? What is the system or structure put in place to take care of your players? Money and everything. You are my responsibility. Every player is my responsibility. You get injured, you get taken care of, right? So how come ACL? Let's just say, okay, the club does not have enough money, which is unheard of. Enyimba does not have enough money to take care of their players. Players that are playing for you and laying it on the line for you to win either trophies or they don't even win anything. But they are representing your club. Let's just say they don't have money. You can come to an agreement, or maybe we'll do 50-50, or at least take care of something. Not that you use how do I put this now? You are trying to defraud the player in terms of using terms like, oh, it's loan, we'll be taking it out of your salary. How much am I earning in the first place? It's like I'm earning 150k and then you give me a car at work and tell me that they'll be taking that car out of the payment of that car out of my salary. That's liability. I didn't ask for the car. This injury happened. It's not like he prayed for the injury, but I'm your responsibility. Take care of this. And it's not. It's so embarrassing to hear that somebody who has been in this situation before, somebody who knows what it is to play football at the highest level, to have injuries, to come back from injuries, where your club is supposed to take care of you. Now you are in that position to do the same to others, and you cannot do the right thing. It doesn't make any sense.
I think it's good that we are platforming softs like this, because a lot of things happen in the grassroots, happens in the NPFL, because a lot of cases, I can mention. We will not finish this episode. We've seen players, we've seen clubs that players too. They sell the players. You've seen players, and this ACL is a big issue in Nigerian football. At least I'm in the process of raising amount of money for an ABS player who was injured, who had ACL, and he was sacked. Abandoned. He was sacked and abandoned. When they see that the budget is like 12 million, they will sack you. And that's coming from the grassroots. No, now professional level. I think for MPFL, there's no proper document. There's no proper contract between the club and the players.
How do you mean no proper contract?
The players don't even have lawyers. The players don't even have representatives. The players don't even have agents.
Because they can't even afford it.
Because if you look at Rodri in of course,
City,
there will be a section that will put injury, and everything that happened to you, even during the injury, it can even be there will be you will be getting a pay cut when you are out of injuries, but it will be in your contract. It It will be in your contract.
So which kind of contract we can they put for here? Which
Baba,
document we
I
I've
have
told-
some
together?
copies and I send you
Baba,
of contract.
Baba,
of MPFL
Baba,
contract.
Baba, I've told you,
you will cry.
I've told
I'd like
you.
to
See, I've told you. They loan a player to a club. They sold the player.
Yes.
Let me tell you. Let me tell you. See, players go away. You know, they run away from clubs when they see a deal. You know, Castina they release.
The let's go scorer now. They are looking for
They
him.
release a statement and they are looking for him. And and he's not. And people were. And when I posted it, people were under my comment section. Now I was making jest of kidnapping. That people, a club. I said, you people don't even understand NPFL or Nigerian
Drama,
football.
yeah.
He's not kidnapped. He just saw maybe
An opportunity.
opportunity
And
in
left.
Qatar or Mao.
He's not the first. Now Chibike who
Yeah,
left Enyimba and went to Israel now.
and they just run. So because there's no proper document, and because most of these players are not even on TMS, there's so many back and forth they do on TMS that at the end of the day, the club that know you in a way. Okay, let me just give you a practical example. A club, an academy sold a player to maybe an Ikorodu City
yeah.
academy, and after like 2 months, he's of age because they sold him. Because when you're getting to 17, 18 at the academy level, the academy they want to
Dispose
because you are not an academy player anymore because you're able to sign professional contract. He joined a particular club in quotes, and after 2 months, he clocked 18, and that means you can sign a professional deal. And they promoted that player to the senior team, and the academy were actually going to court to say why would they promote an academy player to the senior team when you sold an academy player to an academy. So there's so many loopholes in Nigerian football that you just cry. But at the end of the day, for what Toyo have said, for Kanu Wako, he may not even have the full details. But now that is in the news, he should find a way to address it 100%. Because at the end of the day, if he leaves the post now, all these little debts.
But this is not the first Enyimba international issue that is in
Crisis.
the news that he's just getting
First
to
of
know
all,
of.
I want
There
to
was
ask,
the Brown in the Air incident
Wait,
too.
now I'll talk about that. I want to ask Kanu, please, did you pay for your heart surgery? I want to know. Please tell Nigerians, did you pay for your heart surgery when you were about to move from Ajax Amsterdam to Inter Milan and it was discovered that you had a heart defect? Did you pay for your surgery, or were they deducting it from your salary? Did they loan you the money? Can you please answer that question for us? You understand? Because if you have been a beneficiary of such situation, you have not even signed for the club per se, and then you did not go through this, or even if you did not pay or you paid, is it standard practice? You have played in Europe. Is it standard practice that the club will loan you the money? Brown Idea's first move to Europe, before the deal was going on, Brown Idea had an accident. He was still an Ocean Boys player. He had a motorbike accident. It was so bad that his agent was telling the club in Europe different stories to buy time. Brown Idea told him eventually, just tell them the truth that I have an accident. If they want to go on, they will go. If they will not want to go on, no problem. They told the club, Brown Idea has an accident, so that's the reason why all of these delays. They said, send us a picture. How's the situation? Send us a picture. They sent them a picture. They said, let us speak with the doctor. Let him explain the situation. They spoke with the doctor. The doctor explained the situation. They said, fly him to us. We'll treat him.
Wow.
And they signed him with injury.
From Ocean Boys.
From Ocean Boys, he went with the injury
That
he did not get the injury
for that
playing
club.
for the club.
Wow.
He got the injury with Ocean Boys. He said he was going to withdraw money that they had just paid them. They signed him with the injury. That is the practice abroad. Let alone someone that is in your employment. I have said it before, I will say it again. It is out of respect for confidentiality that I will not release some of the audio recordings I have from Enyimba players complaining about the treatment. Enyimba's ESTA code for international for continental games is not more than 200,000. Some of them even said it's not up to 200,000. Do you know how much Rangers pay? Rangers no pay you, they pay you 900,000. I have spoken with the authorities in Rangers. Sometimes they can pay you as much as 1 million. They can pay you ahead of the game just to give you motivation. if Amobi Ezeko will not mind, I will quote him. I have spoken with him one-on-one on this issue.
It's very
Enyimba's Esther code is not more than 200,000 naira.
No.
Enyimba have taken players to continental games, and the players were living in batches one by one.
They were returning
in batches one by one.
It
is out of respect for confidentiality of the documents that I will not release them.
Sawa, the big problem we have, between in Enyimba right now is the governor, is the Kanu is the childhood hero.
Yeah.
To the governor.
Because to all of us now.
Because
legend now.
Because there's a case on ground now. For the Super League, they got 1 billion naira.
The club, Enyimba, yes, got 1 billion naira.
And there's nothing to show for it. It's on. See, even the governor is even asking questions that there's nothing to show for that Super League money that entered the club. There's no improvement in the welfare of the players, no improvement in the stadium. See, for the money that has entered Enyimba, Enyimba should have a standard place like Remo Stars.
Yes.
Better than Remo Stars. The amount of money they've made, in like a 10 years span, they were actually in the continent.
Yes.
In the continent, collecting big dough. Not in the continent and getting crashed out in the preliminary stage.
They won it
money
back to
spinning
back.
Group stage.
They were winning it and they could not even see their turf is one of the worst in Nigeria. So at the end of the day, for the players, I think this will actually bring up to what Enyimba players will be doing henceforth. If there is nothing that is done to this player by next week, when they eventually see relegation, because it's 7 games to go, and they are, they are like 3 points away from, they are 3 points adrift. If they feel like, okay, fine, after like 5 games, 6 games, they look like they are going to get relegated. What will come out of Enyimba in terms of revelation? We'll close this show.
Sawa, the Bible says that when the righteous rule, the people rejoice. Okay. You mentioned that Enyimba won the continental title back to back.
Yeah.
But it looks like this club has lost its identity. Enyimba relegation. No be waiting you go even think before. It gets him so they think relegation for now.
This Enyimba announced 2 different managers.
Has Enyimba lost his identity under Kanu Nwankwo, an ex-international, a living legend?
This is what, once again, for clarity purpose, this is my personal opinion. This is what I think is happening at Enyimba. The present governor of the state is not wasteful. This is what I think. People, the normal practice is that you just go submit something to the government.
They approve.
They dole funds, and then maybe a trip that is supposed to cost, say, let's say this is an illustration, a trip that is supposed to cost, say, 100 million. You submit a budget of 1 billion. The government just approves, because inside the government, people know say that 1 billion no be waiting you need. So they will just make sure say governor approve them. Then everybody collect own share before that 100 million reach your hand. This government, the present government in Abia State, I don't think they are that wasteful. I think it is a government that you submit your proposal, 100 million, they call you,
defend it.
What is this 100 million for? What do you want to do with A, B, C, D, E? You understand? You have to defend. And then when you defend, they look at it and they say, okay, this one has to be out. This one has to be out. This is how much we will give you. This is what I am thinking is happening. So the shrewdness is now probably tightening those spaces, those loopholes where these administrators used to exploit to maybe get 1 or 2 deals for themselves. You understand? And because of that, because normally that 100 million, let's say for instance, is supposed to cover everything. Pay everybody, take care of their welfare, whatever you're submitting it for. But because the practice usually is to, use that excess and hold your side, and now there is no excess, what will now happen? You now deep hand into the ones that are supposed to actually solve problems and start to squeeze people out. So I have never really been a fan of ex-internationals handling positions, because it is not a must that as an ex-international you will be a seasoned professional or administrator. No, there are some that transition quite easily. There are some that they don't have the requisite knowledge to handle such sensitive positions, and we should not be dishing out these positions as if it was Father Christmas. You understand? Out of emotional bias and all of that, or emotional attachments. You understand? So we have to be very careful. What is happening at Enyimba is something that needs to be carefully studied, whether we like it or not. Enyimba is the most successful team in Nigeria, and Enyimba is like the image of Nigerian football, club football. And if it is happening to a team like Enyimba, what will become of ABS and the rest of them?
It's really very sad. Enyimba is currently 16th on the table. They are 3 points ahead of Kun Khalifa and Kwara, who are on 19th and 20th. And with 7 games to go.
And it's 4 teams.
So Enyimba is 22 points.
It's looking like Enyimba is on 36 points.
36 points.
Yes.
From
Enyimba,
almost 30 games.
Yes, 36 points. Wiki Todd is 36. Remo Stars 36. Kun Khalifa and Kwara 33. Enyimba.
They should go on relegation.
The people's elephant. Enyimba.
They should go on relegation.
If what is going to revelations from Enyimba, if they get relegated, to shake the Nigerian.
All right, no problem. So April 7th and April 8th, the quarterfinals of the UEFA Champions League. I would just get your quick thoughts of teams that would make it beyond the quarterfinals.
Okay.
So just one word answers.
All right.
So we are going to see Real Madrid against Bayern Munich. Pooja, who would qualify from that tie?
Bayern, of course.
Bayern, over 2 legs.
They will deal with Real Madrid.
So your baby?
Real Madrid.
No,
it's not even about that.
your
For
condition. Real Madrid.
The last time Bayern won or defeated or knocked out Real Madrid was in 2012.
But forget
So-
the history. They talk about
Hurricane.
foreign.
Oh yeah, now.
Hurricane, they score
It
like
doesn't
say.
matter. Was
you want-
Hurricane not there 2023, 2024 season?
It's not like this.
But
Oh,
not
yeah,
this
now.
Madrid.
We shall
though.
see.
All right, no problem. Sawa,
I fancy Bayern. I think Bayern would edge
over
them,
2 legs.
edge it over 2
Let's
legs.
do Sporting Lisbon versus Arsenal.
Mental breakdown are setting at Arsenal, so Sporting Lisbon.
Oh, come on.
Sporting Lisbon.
Be serious.
Sporting Lisbon.
Sporting Lisbon.
Sporting Lisbon.
Yeah.
All right, Toyo baby, Sporting Arsenal.
Arsenal.
If they do what they did against Bordeaux in Norway, Arsenal can give them 7. Forget this mental breakdown. Arsenal have lost game that in the next game they will look like Warriors. So Sporting CP and Gyökeres will go back to his former club. And straight through.
All right, so let's do Barcelona versus Atletico Madrid.
Let's go at the look one.
Atletico Madrid in the Champions League too. As Barcelona have never knocked out Atletico Madrid.
And Adema look what is there.
I would want Atletico Madrid to progress, but judging by the second leg of their Copa del Rey semi-final, I think Barcelona might edge it.
All right, so finally, let's do PSG versus Liverpool.
PSG knocked Liverpool out last
round of
edition.
16,
And there's this thing that revenge does to you. It is the revenge that made PSG dismantle Chelsea. The pain from the 3-0 final loss at the World Club Cup. There's this thing that revenge does to you when you want to revenge something.
The extra motivation.
Yeah, so this is how I'll call it. PSG would win in France, Liverpool will win in England.
It is who
If
scores the
Liverpool,
most.
yes, if Liverpool does not lose by more than 1 goal in France, then Liverpool would qualify.
All right, Toyo baby.
It's dicey too. I actually felt like the fact that Liverpool are not doing so well doesn't mean that they would lie flat-footed like Chelsea. But I think I'll still go with Paris Saint-Germain.
All right.
PSG. With revenge in their body.
PSG,
PSG. They will be the revenge cover for their body.
So judging by all that we have said, it would appear like we are narrowing it down to the team that will win when they go to Budapest. So for you, Toyo baby,
Real Madrid will win the Champions
a
League.
16th title for Real Madrid.
Apollo system.
Apollo 16.
If not Arsenal, Bayern Munich.
If not Arsenal, Bayern Munich.
If not Arsenal, that will be the Arteta will rule. But Bayern,
I think Bayern will win it.
This year.
Yeah, I think Bayern will win it.
All right, interesting. Toyo baby, this question is specially for you.
Oh, okay.
Yes, there's a new rule now. FIFA, in order to promote inclusion and also empowerment, have revamped this rule. And every female or every women's team must have a female coach.
Yeah.
I'd just like to hear your thoughts.
FIFA, they've not categorically
start your coaching course.
they've not categorically required for FIFA women's competition or tournament that they must have female head coaches or assistant coaches. But this is what they've mandated, that for every FIFA women's tournament, at least one head coach, one female head coach, or one assistant female head coach. And also, you must have at least 2 female staffs on the bench, among the coaches on the bench and, watching the game and all that, right? And the reason why for all of this is just for, like you rightly said, for inclusion. Now, for tournaments, FIFA women's tournament, under 17, under 20, the upcoming one, you would start seeing females or women, being on the bench or taking up one position or the other. The aim is to include more women, to have women take up positions in football, not just football technical aspects, but also in terms of leadership too as well. Now, why are they doing all of this? If you look back at 2023 FIFA Women's World Cup, out of 32 teams, only 12 of them had women as their head coach, which is quite poor to an extent. And the idea of all of this is to make sure women are able to take up roles, leadership. Also, it has opened, there are some rules that are coming up now to also help women in terms of licensing. They can go for coaching, they can have their license, they can even coach teams outside of not just FIFA tournaments alone. The percentage of women included in football, they are changing the structure now. Although there have been so many arguments, some of them are feeling like, it's no longer by merit now, it's gender-based, which I totally agree. You can have a man take care of a female team or a women's nation or a women's national team and do a good job, right? But at the same time, there's also nothing wrong with also including women as long as that woman is up to the task. Her CV, her track record is making sense and she's up to the task, she can do the job. So generally, it's just to include women more in football, take up leadership roles. They're able to go for coaching, licensing, and all of those things. That's majorly all that there is to it, so that we can reduce the barrier of it's just a male-dominated sport where women can also be included.
Interesting. Congratulations to you, Toyo baby. Hope to see you in class.
Yes,
Get your license.
I'll coach Man U.
Yes.
Start with flamingos.
Go really easy. And this one, if them banter, you don't go cry.
Don't worry.
I don't want to hear. But they always think this.
And again, too, people don't understand that female football or women's football is very sensitive.
Yeah.
You need someone in the same gender to understand emotional wise.
Yes.
What you're going through.
Even when it comes to even singles game like the table tennis, the tennis, they always have
everything about a woman.
They have with women in their team because at the end of the day, it's even beyond the tactics or the psychologically, emotions,
health-wise, everything, because hormones. Now
because in Australia, it was mandated that all the photographers per team must be women, because you cannot enter the dressing room anyhow. You cannot do. There's so many closeness. You have to go with the team if you are like a media team or a photographer, and they made it mandated. At the Australian World Cup, that must be a woman. It must be a woman that should be, the photographer. So with what they've done now, I think it's a welcome development. And because there's an opening, I think more women should go into coaching.
Very true.
And go.
So we need to see more women, because women have the temperament, the capacity, and the knowledge,
the emotions,
the ginger. Please go for it. Give it your best, and definitely we hope that you would succeed. Remember, bet freeze. Once you lock that particular game, so you don't get any issues, irrespective of the outcome. For example, as an Arsenal fan, if to say you play Arsenal Man City, can't lock him. As you see Ebenecheze for bench, you see Raya for bench. You just look say, wait, he be like, say this man don't know what thing they do. You won't keep faith with Kepa. No problem. Lock him. Once you lock him, even though Man City beat Arsenal 2-0, so long as you don't lock him on top of your accumulator, they go just count that one for you, say you don't win. The odds fee drop, but you go win them. And that is the very essence of Bet Free. So Bet Nigeria wants you to win. What are you waiting for? Go now and go and use Bet Freeze. We will be back on the Home Turf Podcast, brought to you by Bet Nigeria, your home of Bet Boom.
Bet Builder, Bet Freeze, One Up, Bet Boom. Just another reason why Bet Nigeria is truly number one.
Welcome to the Prediction Guru segment, where to become a guru, all you need to do is to predict correctly the outcome of 3 games. You heard me right. 3 games. In the past, I used to give 5 games until Bet Naija called me one hot afternoon. Husband material, please stop stressing my people. I have loads of gifts for them. Branded merchandise, cash gifts, awoof bonus. Just allow them predict the correct outcome of 3 games. I said, here am I, Bet Naija, correct me. And Bet Naija said, give them 3 games. Rather than tell them the correct scoreline, let it be correct outcome. So if I give you these 3 games, you tell me which team would win, which game would end in a draw, and which team would lose. It is that simple. Which team would win, which game would end in a draw, and which team would lose. Take the games. Switzerland versus Germany. Spain versus Serbia. Mexico versus Portugal. Tell me which team would win. Tell me which game would end in a draw, and tell me which team would lose. Switzerland versus Germany. Spain versus Serbia. Mexico versus Portugal. It is as easy as that. Predict the outcome correctly and be crowned a guru and win fantastic prizes courtesy of Bet Naija. Now only Bet Naija the runner. So it's the International Confederation playoff. Everyone is looking forward to it. Bolivia, Suriname, there is New Caledonia, Jamaica, and in the international friendlies, Australia, Cameroon, Austria, Ghana, England, Uruguay, Switzerland, Germany, Spain, Serbia, and Mexico versus Portugal. We're looking forward to the games. I'm very sure that we will have interesting games.
Get explosive odds at random. Introducing Bet Boom. Get massive odds on any sports bet. However you play, singles, multiples, in play. Zoom. It's time to boom your bet. Available now, only on Bet Naija.
Welcome to Bet Boom. Even my body they shake. For this Bet Boom segment, we share the most impressive Bet Boom slips. Tickets that are boomed on Bet Boom, courtesy of Bet Naija, stand the chance to win up to 1 billion naira. How does it work? It's very, very easy. You go stake your game. No matter the money where you use, Bet Naija go say you have been a good boy, you have been a good girl, and Bet Naija go boom your tickets. So instead of winning ABC amount, you can see XYZ. He go shock you. Now only Bet Naija they run am, and no be church or cho evidence day. Now this punter placed a stake of 1,500 naira on 1347.49 odds. How much the person want win? 3.8 million naira. Bet Naija say hold it. Boom the ticket to 7,680,667 naira 73 kobo. Yes, Bet Naija will pay you and even pay your kobo. Somebody shout boom. This next punter put a stake of 100,000 naira on 30.69 odds to win 3.2 million naira. Bet Naija boom that ticket to 6,443,975 naira 98 kobo. Somebody shout boom. This punter put a stake of 300,000 naira on 7.41 odds to win 2.3 million. Bet Naija say, you never see anything. Let me boom that ticket from 2.3 million. Bet Naija boom that ticket to 11,673,181 naira 80 kobo. Somebody shout boom. Finally, this person placed a stake of 300,000 naira on 7.65 odds to win 2.4 million. Bet Naija boom that ticket to 4,819,110 naira 23 kobo. Somebody shout boom, 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 boom. What are you they wait for? Go on Bet Boom and watch your ticket boomed, and you go see better money. Now only Bet Naija they run am. Boom, 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 boom. Thank you so much, Sawadinho. We wish you all the best moving forward.
I'm trying to recover.
Yes, you need
I need therapy.
You need therapy. You need therapy. Hopefully, your therapist is not Ateta. Gonna fight. Gonna go fight.
Hopefully, you guys will deliver
You
to
all
pets.
meet 2 different pastors for 2 different beds.
Even all shawarma here. For winning the Carabal Cup now. Toya baby, thank you very much.
As always.
Thank you so much.
You know, say you still get that league. If you don't know who that league.
But if you don't win that league, even if Arsenal wins the league,
Even if Arsenal wins the league,
should Arteta's services be retained?
no, he should be sacked.
Even if Arsenal wins the
Even
league,
if Arsenal wins the league, Arsenal is underachieving. Arsenal should have won the league at least 3 seasons ago. Even if Arsenal wins the league, Arteta should be fired.
Where could they go?
Where would they
Alright.
go?